I'm Shannon Thresher, and this is 30-Second Tactics. Today we're going to talk about the federal form that you have to fill out if you want to be a Catholic instead of a Protestant. Oh wait, no, that's not it. That's First Amendment. This is the form you have to fill out to exercise your right to require the police to have a warrant before they enter your home. Nope, wait, that's the Fourth Amendment. This must be the one that's an infringement on the Second Amendment. This is the form the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives require you to fill out as a firearms transaction record. So what does that mean? That means you go to a gun dealer, a firearms store, whatever you want to call it, in the U.S., and you buy a firearm from them. This is the form you'll have to fill out. This is what's commonly known as a ATF Form 4473, or even more simply, a 4473. Now, if you look right here, you'll see that this form was revised in December of 2022, and they made some pretty significant changes to this form. Now, I'm not going to get into too detail about whether or not all these things they say violate your right to own a firearm, if that's constitutional or not. That's way above my pay grade. I generally think all gun laws are infringements, but that's not for me to say, or I can say it, but that's not for me to rule. This is the law. When I go buy a gun at a gun store, I fill one of these out, I follow the law. I'm just going to talk today about some of the changes they've made and what it means and what it might mean in the future. Now, first off, if you're not familiar with the form or the new form, this section up here where the gun store employee would fill in those blanks to describe the firearm you're purchasing, this used to be on a subsequent page. It wasn't on the first page, see? But they're kind of tricky. What they've done now is they put the firearm description and your description on the same page. So it makes it much easier for them to track which firearms you bought. Even though a national registry is against the law, they've kind of backdoor created a national registry. But even that's not really what this video is talking about. The problem I have that we're going to talk about today is, look at these questions. And again, if you've ever bought a gun from a dealer, you filled one of these out. But if you look at this second question right here, let's see here. Do you intend to purchase or acquire any firearm listed on this form or continuation sheets or ammunition? That's where they get you. Or ammunition for sale or disposition, etc., etc., etc. So now they've kind of snuck in there with two little words for making it very easy for them in the near future, hopefully not, but possibly, to start regulating the sale of ammunition and basically banning people from buying ammunition or requiring a lot of loops and hoops to jump through in order to purchase ammunition. That's the problem I have. So, does that mean the ATF's going to start regulating ammunition? Well, I mean, they already have. They've just included ammunition on the same sheet. And if you look at the page over here, this is the end of the questions, and this is where you would sign the form saying that everything you put up here is true. Now, they already list in here, let's see here. I understand that answering yes to question 21A, if you're not the buyer, etc., etc., etc. But if I answer yes to any of the questions B through M, and if you look right here, that's all these questions and all these questions. So they're telling you or me, or really they're telling the bad guys who shouldn't be buying guns for whatever reason, they're telling you, hey, if you answer yes, then we're not going to be able to transfer this gun to you. So they're basically telling you what to answer. Answer no to all these, or this isn't going to happen. So if the bad guy, the felon, the axe murderer, the guy that's going to go shoot up school, whatever, the guy that we're supposedly preventing from getting firearms through this paperwork and this background check, they're telling you right there in plain English, if you want to get this gun, make sure you answer no to all these questions, which is, again, ridiculous on its own. But like I said, this video is just to bring attention to something you guys might have missed, you might not have known, it might have slipped in. This is only a couple months old, and I believe And you guys can fact check me on this. I believe that even though it was revised in December, it wasn't actually required to be used nationwide until April, but now that's passed as well. So if you go to any gun store in the U.S. and buy a gun and fill out this form, you should be using this form, the one that's revised in December of 2022, the one that includes ammunition in the questioning. Now, if you just go in the store and buy ammunition now, in most states anyway, I'm not talking about California and all the other non-American states, but if you go to, say, Texas or Alabama or one of the good American states, and you buy a box of ammo, you don't have to fill out this form yet. But if you, say, buy a gun and a box of ammo, you're agreeing to put that ammunition under all these same regulations. So, guys, I don't know what this means for sure. I don't know that it means tomorrow or next week or next year they're going to start regulating ammunition on a federal level, but they've certainly put the wording into their official form that will allow them to do that. So something to think about, guys, something to maybe talk to your representatives about, write some letters, send some emails. And, the ATF is in a lot of trouble recently with decisions they've made and oversteps they've made with, bump fire stocks and now the pistol braces that I talked about in another video. And I think they're about to get in a little bit of trouble in the courts, but we'll see. But like I said, this video is just really concerning to me that they've added ammunition to be under the same regulations as a firearm. So that's what I have for you guys this week. Just something to think about. As always, work, train, repeat. Stay safe.